There's this one moment in leadership that happens all the time, but we almost never see it for what it really is. It shows up looking like a simple, maybe even tough question, but hidden inside is this quiet, totally transformative power. Today, we are going to unpack that exact moment and find the gift inside. So let's set the scene.
All right, imagine this. You're in a big meeting. The stakes are high, you've done your homework, you know your stuff. And then a senior stakeholder, let's say a board member, hits you with a pointed question about a risk you've been handling, behind the scenes. Your stomach just drops. What is that first gut reaction? For pretty much all of us, the shields go right up. We get this sudden urge to justify every decision, to defend our turf, to prove that we have it all under control. It feels like a pop quiz, and our main goal is just, don't look weak. But hold on a second. What if we've been looking at this completely backwards? What if that question that feels like a challenge is actually something else, something way more valuable? Okay, so let's dig into that default reaction first. We instinctively see these questions as, someone checking up on us, judging us, maybe even questioning if we're competent. And that feeling immediately puts us on the defensive. And the reason this happens is actually pretty simple. Most people, especially the ones who aren't in the weeds with you every day, they only see the very top layer of your work. They see the results, the finished product, but they have no idea what it took to get there. And all that stuff underneath, well, the source material has a fantastic name for it: the hidden architecture. This is the huge, invisible foundation of everything you do. All the trade-offs you had to make, the complicated reasoning, the tiny, disciplined choices day in and day out. They see the tip of the iceberg, but you built the massive thing under the water. So it's no wonder that when that question pops up, our flawed view sees it as an annoying interruption, a test we have to pass, or a judgment on our ability to do our job. And that frame of mind just forces us into this defensive back-and-forth mode. But there is a much, much better way. And this is where it gets really interesting. Author Manu Sharma offers a complete perspective shift. He says every strategic question is an invitation. Think about that. Not an interrogation, an invitation. That one little word changes absolutely everything. So when we start to see the question as a gift, we see it for what it can be: a genuine invitation to step up and lead a deeper conversation. It's not a threat anymore, it's a real opportunity. Think of it like this. That question is now a bridge. It's your chance to invite that stakeholder to walk across it with you, to give them a tour of that hidden architecture of your thinking. You get to pull back the curtain and show them the why behind the what. And why is this so important? Well, things get really messy when everyone on a team is working from different assumptions. These moments, these questions, they're not about defending a PowerPoint slide. They're about turning your strategy from a dead document into a living, breathing conversation that gets everyone on the same page. Because here's the bottom line, and it's so important: people trust what they can understand. When you use a question as a chance to explain your thought process, the challenges you faced, your real intentions, you're not just giving them data. You are actively building trust. Okay, so we get the what and the why. That's the theory. But how do you actually pull this off when the pressure's on? Let's get super practical and walk through the leader's playbook for answering with intention. All right, here's how you do it. 4 steps. First, see the question as a door you can open to bring in more clarity. Second, answer with humility. That keeps the door open and makes it a real conversation. Third, show confidence, not arrogance, but confidence that your work is well thought out. And last, and this one is key, respond with gratitude. A tough question means they're paying attention. And when you start using this mindset, this playbook, the payoff is just huge. You completely change the vibe of the entire relationship. You move it from feeling like you're being micromanaged to feeling like you're in a true partnership. And I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day. The old way, the transactional response, just leads to more reporting, more oversight, and this endless cycle of being defensive. But the transformative response we're talking about, that leads to partnership, real alignment, and deep, lasting trust. The two paths could not be more different. And the impact just keeps going. These better conversations create these amazing ripple effects everywhere. Seriously, the work gets easier because people are on the same page. The way you make decisions becomes healthier. Your relationships become more honest. The entire organization just gets stronger and more resilient. So, Really, it all boils down to a choice that you get to make. In these small, quiet moments that seem so ordinary, you have all the power to decide how this story goes. Is your response going to be just another transaction, or is it going to be something that transforms everything?
I just love how the source material puts this. The impact depends on how you choose to show up. It's all about your intention in that moment. Do you see an attack or do you see an invitation? That decision right there determines everything that happens next. It's your moment to really lead.
So the next time you're in that meeting and that question comes and you feel that old defensive instinct kicking in, just take a breath. Remember the quiet gift you're actually being offered. And ask yourself, in this moment, what am I going to choose to build? Trust or more distance? The choice is always yours.